So, what's up? Not sure how much. I guess I should probably turn music down, I suppose. Um, don't know how much talking I'm going to be doing during this one, but hopefully a little bit. Anywho, turn second pair, value bet here against like an 8, a 6, things of that nature. Can't really get anything better to fold. Check here. He's got an ace. And he does this, bullshit smiles, whatever. Bet here, fold here as well. Check here. I think he's got better than what I have, to be honest. It's hard not to once you call that board. Ace suited ace here, flop top pair here. Go ahead and raise it up here. Flop absolute air. Go ahead and bet anyways. Flop trips here. And bet pretty big. Just give up here. Didn't turn any equity. A 10 is a better card for him than it is for me. Not that he thinks that deep, but turn the full house here, only lose the quads. I can have like draws here, just better go ahead and bet. Not going to bet this flop because this guy doesn't seem to give me a whole lot of credit. I'm gonna bluff this turn though. Go ahead and bet this river. If I get check raised, have to call, I guess. Win a pot against someone I hate is always delightful. This guy sits out, which is unfortunate, but whatever. Fold here. I get 3-bet by, and this guy jams. Where's your 3-bet number? 3-bet EP versus EP IP 7%. I'm gonna make a really tight fold here. His sizing suggests that he's not bluffing. I'm not really ahead of all too much. It's a really nitty fold, but I think it's correct. And it's unfortunate that, like, all these wanker bum hunters won't start tables with me. Like, it's beneficial to get games going, morons, but whatever. And this is a mess, misclick. Adjust this. This guy makes it 4. These 3-bets a lot. Just get it in here. I don't know anything about you, just gonna go ahead and bet. It's important to get like ace high to fold, things of that nature. Like, he might fold deuces, 4s and 5s, which would be really important. Go ahead and semi-bluff this turn, or not so much semi-bluff. I might be able to get 9s, 8s, and 7s fold. 5s and 4s, 3s, 2s, then fold the flop, maybe a 6, but like, it's also a value bet in that like 7 and 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, things of that nature might call another bet. If he has a 10, I expect him to check raise here. I want to play a pot with Guppy, so I'm gonna make a loose call from the small blind. Don't know how good this is, because this guy might shove, and I don't flop anything. I really can't represent anything against this guy, because he's not that great of a hand reader, and he doesn't like to fold. I really want to play a pot with this guy, even though we're kind of deep here, but there's just too many people that like to 3-bet behind. Like, set money is rarely about stack size. More often than not, it's about people behind you, and will this guy get paid? Yeah, I would have flopped my set, but unless he has like an overpair, it just goes apeshit crazy here. It's just not looking good for me. And he get it in like king, queen against... I guess he's short, so it's whatever. And I guess I would have won a stack, a really big one, but whatever, you can't be results oriented. Just want to play a lot of pots with this guy, and like if he 3-bets, my hand is way too good to fold. I'm probably way ahead of his range. But the guy behind me 3-bets, and that's not actually what I wanted to see at all. Let's see. Say 3-bets EP, IP, let's see. The 3-bets in middle position not all that often is. Most of his 3-bets have come from the blinds, so just, I'm gonna give him credit here. I mean, it's really easy to get high numbers from 3-betting the blinds versus steals and make it look like you're some kind of maniac when you really aren't. Like, you can do all your 3-betting from the blinds and the button against late position raisers, and then when you 3-bet, like, under the gun +1, people assume you're a maniac, because your 3-bet number just looks so high. Flop a gutter and an open ender, so just bet here. This guy loves 3-bet, I'm just gonna fold. The ace deuce here doesn't play all that well, to be honest, and I wouldn't surprise if I got raised on this flop. And I do. I have to decide what to do here. I'm behind pairs and straight draws, and I'm ahead of like 9-8. But I'm behind 10-9. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to 3-bet. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to call, because occasionally he will have it. Just fold. I could have check called there, and it probably would have been an okay play. Really want to play a pot with that guy, but not in that particular situation. Get 3-bet really small, getting a really good price. Nothing to do here but call. Can't flop anything, unfortunately. Just be giving this one up. Tight bet sizes usually aren't bluffs either, so call here, try and flop a set. Just fold here. I could 4-bet. His numbers are off in the blinds, but yeah. Just check fold here. He can't really bluff since the fish calls so wide. Or if he does, pretty big mistakes, getting called an awful lot. And I'm just gonna fold, especially when he picks that sizing. It's just so hard to be bluffing there. Just too many regs don't think about things that deeply, unfortunately. Or fortunately. It's more fortunately, I suppose. So, just keep continuing to play good solid poker and good things will happen for you. This guy puts in a really big check raise in this 3-bet pot. And then checks, which is really weird. I'm likely to have the best hand here. A lot of times check, take a card on the turn. When you do this, you have to play turns really well, and he can be semi-bluffing here, so let's take a free card on the turn, and so I can get him to maybe fold a 4 here, or a 3, 3, 4, or 5, or 3, 4, or 5, I'm just trying to get him to fold. I don't know if he'll fold it, but it's worth a try. Blind versus blind. I did not mean to click that button. But that's okay, because he just calls. I'm gonna go ahead and check this flop, though. This is a fairly good flop for me. Just go ahead and bet here. Getting a really good price to play with the fish that I really want to play with, so just call here. Flop a flush draw, which is good. He bets full pots, so call, and then probably call him all rivers, because he probably would have 3-bet all better. Check call here, 1, turn 2 pair, but it 3 straights and 3 flushes the board. Go ahead and bet here and then see what happens. I'm value betting against like 9s, 10s, things of that nature. Go ahead and value bet 2 pair here, try and get called by a jack. I could check raise this flop, or I could bet this flop, or call this flop. And 2 raise is really, really big. There's nothing really to do here but fold. I missed a value bet there. Okay, I could bet here and represent like king, queen. His range has more kings in it than mine, unfortunately. I'm gonna try and fold like something like pocket 8, pocket 7s, like pocket 5s, things of that nature. If he raises me, cool. You can have it, 'cause most people won't turn like pocket 5s into a bluff there. I guess I do have a lot of kings in my range, but probably not as many as him, because I can't have ace king and he can have all the overcards that I have. Go ahead and 3-bet here, go ahead and 3-bet here, and call here. I have him knocked, which is nice. And getting 4-bet when you have aces is always nice. So just stick it in and hope he calls. He has queens, bit of a cooler for him. And he's drawing dead, which is nice. Bit of a cooler for him. It's actually not a bit of a cooler, it's really a bit cooler. Given how wide my range is when I 5-bet jam compared to every other reg at this site. Turn the nut flush draw here, and I flop a set here. This guy doesn't like folding anything, so go ahead and bet really big. Check this turn, because I can't really get anything to fold, and try and hit a set here against... I hit a set, which is cool, especially on this board. Just go ahead and fold here. He bets... Do I want to check call or check raise here? I'm gonna call and try and keep the fish in the pot. I don't know if I'll use ever calling, but it's worth trying. Go ahead and 3-bet here as well. I just stacked him, so... And I'm just gonna check call here and probably just check raise all in on the river. Not a whole lot worse calls, to be honest. However, he might look me up because I just stacked him. He might be frustrated, so it's probably with the check raise here. Really, the only hands I lose to are like pocket 7s. And he's kind of committed himself as well. And I did stack me at ace-jack, which again is unlucky for him. So one of the few regs capable of bluffing in that spot. Go ahead and 3-bet really big here. We're kind of deep. And this is a really good flop for me. Go ahead and bet here. I get check raised. I have 2 draws to the nuts. 6 peels to the turn. Just call here. See what happens. I'm getting a good price. That's obviously not a good turn card for me. This is a good turn card for me, obviously. Go ahead and bet 20. Just fold this turn. I guess he has like a really strong hand. Just check fold here. This is the board you can screw with me too much on. want to play a pot with uh, just gonna make a really tight fold here. I'm gonna soup up this board because it hits my range harder than his. I get snap called, and the turn card completes a lot of draws that he might have, or pick up, like he might have picked up a pair with his draws. Just check fold here. There's no real reason to keep barreling. It's not like he's gonna fold a king or like queen jack here. Oh, what do we want to turn? A river. He checks, and that king makes it less likely he has a king. I guess he can have like a queen. I'm just gonna check fold. He did have an ace. I want to play pots with these two guys. Make a little bigger isolation raise than usual. Not really isolating, I'm just building a pot. So, no over pairs folding, no flush draws folding. Go ahead and bet pretty big. And I turn the nuts, the effective nuts anyways. If I bet really big now, all the flush draws will fold. Just bet a little smaller. And I get raised, which is cool. Go ahead and click it back in case he's like bluffing or semi-bluffing. Give him room to hang himself. He bets full pot, just fold here. I guess he was just straight bluffing. The flush draw missed. Does he limp call an ace and then bet a crappy one on the river? Is he bluffing now? Getting 3-1, give or take a few cents. Only have to be right ever so often, just call, and I've got a better 8 than him. That's a really weird play by him. I'm not exactly sure he knows what he was doing there. It's a really good spot for ace king in between two people who never believe me. In general, it's always awesome to pick up big hands, but it's even better when no one ever believes you. Like, I'm liable to get called 4-bet light here or 4-bet light here, just because of the amount of respect anyone gives me. I want to play a pot with him. Like a very smallish 4-bet, or 3-bet to take initiative away. Hopefully, Noon Guy doesn't read into that. I took initiative away, which is, it's really hard to play against anyone when they have initiative. That being said, this flop isn't also great for me. I'm just gonna bet once and then probably give up unless I turn really well. That'd be a really good turn card for me. It's also a really good turn card for him. I'm gonna go ahead and make another blocking bet here, because I really want to see a river card with this hand. I just don't want to pay a lot for it if I check call. And he does fold, so I guess he had something like a 9 or something. I flop top set here. Not a whole lot worse. A lot worse can call, but they won't call very much, so bet kind of small. The only thing that's really going to call is straight draw, things of that nature. I have 2 overs on the nut flush draw. Backdoor, he leads the turn. I'm just going to make a really small raise here and try and get more money in the pot. I fold here, I guess. I have a full house now, which is nice. Pot's really big. So I'm pretty much just hoping that he does what he just did and stick in the min raise and laugh if he folds. So he turned 3-7, river 3-7. It's kind of unfortunate for him. I could screw with him a lot on this flop, but I'm just gonna fold here. I don't know, he'll put me on a flush draw, because it's hard to hit sets, obviously. Probably let this run for another 10 minutes, I guess. Broken Rough sticks all the chips in, and even Noon is taking. I have no idea what he would be tanking with after he raised that flop to this size. I guess he has like 8-7 or something, and it's deciding if it's good. Maybe like queens, doesn't know if it's good or not. But if that's the case, you shouldn't have raised the flop. Go ahead and isolate here. Make it smaller because I'm liable to get 3-bet. And really all I want to do is just isolate him in the pot. Just fold queen 9, it's a real crappy hand to call. And then flop much of anything. So I'm just gonna check and fold. The ace is an okay card to bet, but I don't think anyone. There's too many draws that come with it, like all diamonds, king, queen, jack, things like that. There's enough stuff I'll call that I would have to bet the river, and it's probably not that great of a idea. Also, people can actually have an ace. And I don't understand what's going on here at all. Oh, they're kind of deep, I guess. I'll just go ahead and see that here. Just keep playing. I get 3-bet. Can't continue, obviously. Fold here, raise here. Just like, you gotta find people you want to play pots with and then try and play as many pots with them as possible. You know, obviously you're not gonna make a ton of money off any of the regs. I'm gonna fold here because this guy's 3-bets numbers from the big blind are pretty huge. You're not gonna make a ton of money off the regs unless, you know, you just start coolering them and you get them really frustrated. And like on a Friday night, you know, normally I would be attacking every reg left and right, but it's Friday night, the fish are out, and you, to be honest, you want to play a lot more pots with the weaker players, the really weak players, as opposed to like the marginally weak players as in the regs. But I mean, if you look at these tables, like all of them have some like multiple fish or like a really bad deep fish. And those are the people you want to play pots with. Plenty of time for dick waving at other times. This is probably not such a great table, but I'm not going to be playing for much longer. It's not really all that reason to get off of it. Go ahead and bet this flop. Get him to fold like hands like 9-7, or like suited connector hands that don't have pairs, or like crappy pairs. Basically everything worse than an 8. 9, 10, and Jack 10 probably won't fold, but in that you can get a really thin street of value. You bet once and then you check and check on the river when they break out, when the hand at showdown. See, this is a spot where like people, if they were frustrated, would just 4-bet jam. It's a really dumb play. Like here now, it's not a bad spot to 4-bet jam because I can rep a strong hand because he's well aware enough to realize that this guy is just 3-betting really light. So cheeseburgers 3-bets really big. I don't know. Don't fold jacks blind first blind when you get to 50 and 0 if you have any kind of image. As you can see, my stats are running really loose, so just go ahead and 4-bet and call it off if he has better. Good for him, I guess. Yeah, there are lots of spots where people will start 3-betting you really wide, and people will start 5-betting you wider than they normally would just because your image. It's just so loose. Like 15% 3-bet here, 10% 3-bet here, 9% 3-bet here, 6% here, 15 here. It's just, you have to be aware of these things if you're going to do it, especially when you use, like, I have 1,000 hands on him. Like, people start to recognize these things after, you played quite a bit of hands with them, especially in a reg pool as small as merge. Like, on stars, like, so many more regs per stake, and, like, your image is not as important as you think it is because, they tend to forget things because there's just so many regs to deal with. But here in a small reg pool, people's memories are a little better because they have less people to remember. So they remember when, you've stacked them like 8 times in the last 10,000 hands or so. And, people at these stakes are at these stakes because they have massive leaks in their game. And to be honest, a lot of the leaks people have at these stakes is tilt control. Tilt control and not knowing when to let up on the gas. Like, you can't run people over forever as much as, it'd be cool if you could, because you'd make so much more money, but you have to realize that you can't run everyone over forever, unfortunately. And you have to realize that people are making adjustments to you. This is another great spot to pick up queens against someone who's been 3-betting me a lot blind versus blind. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that so there, but like even this guy's running like 15-14 over a lot of hands. Even though I'm getting 3-bet a lot, they're rarely calling, so continuing to open up a pretty wide range is good. I'm risking like 2 big blinds to win 1.5. It's really good. I mean, like, look at the sizing from these people. It's just so bad. If I actually woke up with a hand here, I could just like punish them for their bad sizing, especially if they're bluffing. Like, if they're bluffing to that size, just horrible poker. Because, like, eventually I just widen up. Or, not eventually, I already have. Just widen up your value range and just, like, punish these people. And I would love to play a pot with this guy last a little too short. Last time this guy led, he had a flush draw. It's something nice to keep in mind if you so choose to lead this flop. This guy 3-bets. I have him tagged as a fish, but no, I'm not so sure. If he is one, his sizing is so small here that I think it's okay to just make a really tight fold. Another good spot's just 3-bet and then jam over any 4-bet. I don't know. He thinks that I'm coming after him, which I kind of am. Am I sizing a little big there? I should have made it like 450. That's a mistake on my part. Anyway, my point here being is like he made it one, like, did he make it like 1 or 2, like over 2.5 big blinds, and I have 3-bets of 10, which is too much. And I min raise and he makes it the same size. Okay, something to take note of if you think people are coming over you light. This particular spot is really unlikely because of this guy behind and how wide he's jamming. He can't be super wide there because that guy, he has to call it off every time this guy jams. Just something to take notice of if you're thinking about making a 4-bet bluff. And that's just not a good spot to do so for the reasons I just illustrated. want to play a pot with the big blinds, so I'll go ahead and raise here, raise here. Can 3-bet here, which would be a bad choice, or I can call here. I choose to just call. Don't flop anything. I mean, I flop 2 backdoors, but they're not very good. I flop top pair here, no kicker. With a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. So much worse can call this bet, so let's go ahead and bet and isolate him. I get checkman raised. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I don't have that sample size to say what it means one way or another, but again, I have a lot of outs and or a lot of good turn cards for my hand. I happen to turn one of them. C bet here, he full pots it. I don't like this is a spot where if he ever has worse, I just have to jam, so I think I'm gonna do that. And if he doesn't have worse, then I have some kind of equity going to the river. And I have, you know, a fair bit of equity, but I don't get there, it's fine. It's important to note that he check raises. Top pair, top kicker. Or top pair, good kicker. So if you were in the habit of taking notes, I would do that. I'm not in the habit of taking notes, because usually I just remember most things. And he 4-bets. I have blockers to a lot of hands, just like I have blockers to most hands that he'd call with, so I'm just gonna jam here. I did make it a little smaller, so I don't know if he read into that or not. And he has ace king, which is whatever. But I hit 3 outs, so cool. This play was probably really bad, actually. Nothing to say about this hand either. I just 3-bet ace queen. He called. I want to play a pot with him because we're deep. He's bad. I don't know what else to say about that. See, even you can like beat me. Just like wait for hands, and then bet them when you have them. Like tell myself it's a really good situation and that you're capable of bluffing. And if you are capable of bluffing, then I'll just shove on you light, and you can just print money against me that way. I mean, like, these stakes are easily beatable if you just, like, have, you know, some semblance of understanding of how people think and react when they're frustrated, and how to play against fish and not spew money to regs. My computer froze, which is delightful. But it unfroze, so probably gonna get off this table unless this guy appears to be a fish. So far it's not looking like he is one. I get 3-bet here. I have a really good hand to defend with, but what is his 3-bet stats from? So 3-bets the small blind. His 3-bets blind versus button 17%. You could bluff here, I could call here, but I'm tired of playing at the moment, winding the session down, so just hit the sit out button and I'll wrap this up. Anyways, as you can see, lots of people play bad, including myself at times. Just, you don't want to do that, obviously. Go ahead and c-bet here, and if I get checkman raised, he has it. But it's real important to try and just frustrate everyone while simultaneously not getting frustrated yourself, and you'll do really well. And, like, just people, see what I mean? People just like give it away here. Just 30 years, 60 big blinds, whatever. Don't ask me about math, just all in with ace jack. Anywho, there's not much to say for the rest of this, so peace.